Oh, God. Yep. I'm going to invite you to lift a leg and then just plop it down to the ground. And then lift the other leg and plop it down. Maybe the arms do the same thing. One arm lifts and plops down. The other arm lifts and plops down. Notice the parts of the body that touch the ground, the mat, rock. Invite those parts to become heavy. Soften the gaze. Eyes can be closed or just kind of fuzzy. Jaw is relaxed. You are the result of your thinking. Yoga begins with the thinking and it ends with illumination. So check in with the thoughts, notice. Notice what's firing up. Notice what the mind is saying. And then visualize a shining light. It can be a light bulb, a candle, a fire, whatever comes to mind. Can you feel that warmth of the light spreading through you? Can you visualize it shifting along the legs, softening, letting everything just sink, surrender? Maybe you feel the warmth of the light softening along the spine, releasing the tension in the shoulders, stretching all the way down to the fingers. Take a few more breaths, just basking in this warmth, in this light, in this illumination. No worries at all. It happens when we lie down. Bring awareness to the tips of the toes. Start to curl them in like a fist and then stretch and spread through the foot. Take that several times, noticing, becoming aware of what happens with the feet, with the ankles. Does that work? Perfect. Help yourself. Take a few points and flex of the feet, so toes away, toes towards you. And then awareness to the fingertips, curl them in, spread them out. Move mindfully, slowly. Oftentimes we work as one unit. So what does it feel like to move just one finger at a time? How much concentration does that take? How do the knuckles and the hands feel today? And then start to circle through the wrists, several circles each direction. We'll bring the palms together, generate some heat here, rub the hands vigorously. And then imagine the hands are like a washcloth and just bathe the face in the warmth of the hands, the eyes, forehead, the cheek, the jaw. Feel free to do that again, generate some more heat. Get the blood flowing and then let that warmth soothe you. Jaw, neck, maybe even the shoulders. Let the hands relax comfortably. Wherever they land is perfect. You're welcome to keep your eyes closed or softly flutter them open. We're going to shift the eyeballs up toward the forehead. Take them over to one ear, down to the nose, over to the other ear. Creating circles of the eyes within the sockets. We'll take about 4 in each direction. When you feel complete with that, reach for your strap. Hopefully it's nearby. We'll bend the knees and place the feet on the floor. Just lay the strap on your chest. Hug the right knee in towards you. You can hold on to the shin or the knee or the back of the leg. And take a couple of breaths just right there. We're going to hold the right shin with the right hand. Opposite arm is going to stretch back toward the props. Maybe that ear and the arm come in line with one another. Reach the fingertips away from the head. Lift the hand back up. Maybe it taps the left knee. So you're making a little rainbow here with the left arm. It reaches past the head. Comes back up. At the same time, we're thinking about drawing that right knee into the chest, feeling the squeeze of the thigh against the belly, noticing the hip creep. Take one more of those flowing hands. And then reach the left hand for the strap. Reach the right hand for the strap. We're going to lasso the right foot. Reach the right foot up to the ceiling. Take a couple of pumps here, bending the knee and then stretching out the back of the leg. Notice how the hamstring feels. Hamstring has 2 attachments, one at the bum and one behind the knee. Sometimes we feel tight or loose in both. Sometimes we feel tight or loose in one. The next time the foot comes up to the ceiling, pause there. Transfer the straps to your right hand. Left arm comes out like a wing. Open the right leg. Sway it toward the mirror wall. I'm going to encourage you to shift through the ankle. However that manifests is perfect. Not a right or a wrong way here, just a chance to observe. We're all connected. What happens when you bend the toe, when you flex the foot? Where do you feel that? At the same time, keep both bum cheeks firm against the ground. Lift the leg back up to the sky. Transfer the straps to the other hand. Right arm comes out like a wing now. We're going to take that lifted leg just across the body. I like to line the foot up with my shoulder. It is not an exact science. Take a couple of breaths there. We're going to take our right hand and put it on the right thigh. Slide the hand towards your hip. Maybe you get your thumb in the crease. Press that crease away. We want to make space and length through the hip while stretching through that out. Another breath right here. Release the hands, bend the knee, let go of the strap. Place it across the belly again. Right foot to the ground, left knee, we hug in. Several breaths. I tend to always do the right side before the left side. It's intentional. Somebody asked me this the other day. Your colon ascends up the right side and descends down the left. It's the way our food gets processed out the body. It's also the reason why people fart in this pose. They're expelling the gas, clearing up space. Perfect. We're gonna hold on to the left leg. Right leg's gonna make that little rainbow. Stretch it up to the ceiling, reach it past the head. Bring it back to tap the right knee. Maybe there's 3 more of those. Just notice how much ease or how much discomfort you have in the shoulder without any judgment. Release the left hand, gather the straps, lasso that left foot, press it up to the sky. Think about the pulse, lengthening and then bending the leg. Beginning to notice where you have ease and where you have tension. Next time the leg lifts, pause there. Put both straps in the left hand, right hand comes out like a wing. Remember here, bum cheeks stay rooted as you open the left leg. Oh, stretch it out to the front door. And then explore, what does it feel like when you shift through the leg? What do you notice? Maybe it's the right knee you notice and it kind of sways out to the side. Ooh. No right or wrong, just an awareness. Another breath. Let's lift that leg back up to the ceiling, transfer the straps to the right hand, take it across the body, not very far, maybe just lining that big toe up with the shoulder. Left hand, slide it along the thigh, down to the hips. Press the meaty part of the thigh away. Notice how that is. Oftentimes these pauses is a way of dealing with discomfort, of being in the discomfort, knowing that on the yoga mat, it dissipates. We don't stay here forever. As you're ready, release, remove the strap. Stretch the legs nice and long. Take the arms out wide like the letter T, kind of look like the whole letter T. Reach both palms up toward one another, fingers to the sky, make an X, give yourself a hug. Now find a little movement here. Maybe the elbows start to make circles. Maybe you roll or shift the weight from one shoulder to the other. You might find that the head moves along with you. Take those circles in the other direction. Just enjoying that. Come back through center. Release the hands. Place the feet on the floor again, knees to the sky. Make some distance between your bum and your heel, so they don't need to be up nice and close. Hug the right knee into the chest. Moving from Ardha Uttanasana, half wind relieving pose. Hold that right knee with your left hand. We're going to roll onto the left side into supine twist. And just shift back and forth. So onto the back. Give the knee in, rolling onto the left side for supine twist. I like my other leg, the left leg bent, but if you ever want to straighten it, you can. If you ever wanted to straighten the right leg, you could. I'm going to take several more of these, just exploring. Teeny tiny shifts change the feeling of the pose. For many of us, that's the first time we notice those small little shifts. As you make your way into supine twist, linger there. Let that right foot and knee become heavy. Let the right shoulder become heavy. We're going to invite our left hand to come into the hip crease again. So that thumb finds the space in between the hip and the thigh. Move the belly out of the way. Press that right thigh, that right hip away from you while in the twist. And notice. It might be a, oh yeah, that's right. Or it might be like, oh, whatever comes out, whatever moans, they're always welcome. One more breath. Release the hand, roll onto your back. Both feet on the floor, hands alongside the body, palms down. Soft flowing bridges here. Lift the hips and then lower them. We're looking for length along that space that we just pressed into, that we held our thumb into the crease. Easy peasy, not too much effort, just an awareness. Crease to length. You find the crease, you notice the crease as the bum comes down, and you find the length. You notice the extension as the bum lifts. One more, please. When the bum comes back down to the ground, hug the left knee in. Use the right hand. We're moving from Ardha Uttanasana, half wind relieving pose, into supine twist. Rolling onto the right side, taking the leg with us. And then just pulsing back and forth between the two poses. Plenty of time, plenty of space for exploration. Notice how the outer hip feels. On this side, my left shoulder is really tight. So I just slide it a little bit closer to my bum, not that T shape. It was too tight. Maybe you feel the same. As you roll into supine twist, pause there. We're going to take our left hand to do a self-assist. We're sliding the thumb into the crease, pressing the thigh away from the belly, away from the torso, looking for length in that hip space. Couple of breaths right there. Perfect. Release. Roll onto your back. Plant the feet. Knees up to the sky. This time the arms are going to reach past the head. Think a Y shape here. Let the backs of the hands come to the ground. Feet are going to support as we return to those flowing bridges. Lift the hips and lower. Oftentimes, this is a lot more challenging. You might feel one hip lift faster than the other. Can you slow down and try to get the hips to lift at the same time? Get both bum cheeks to land on the ground at the same time. I think I've been exploring that for about a year now, and I still haven't mastered it. So have a little patience with yourself. The next time the hips come to the ground, pause. Reach the hands up to the sky. Give yourself a hug again. Maybe the opposite arm comes on top. Maybe you're like, I have no idea, and that's totally fine. Now lift our forehead toward our elbows. Curl in. Maybe curl up a little bit more, lifting the tops of the shoulders from the ground. Lay the shoulders down. Lay the back of the head down. Take several more of these. You control the intensity. You control the movement. I'm hoping you feel a little bit of strength, a little bit of effort, but still find this comforting. The next time you land down on the mat, stretch the arms out. We're going to walk our pinky toes to the long edges of the mat. Let the knees come in, a little knock knee pose. Take a couple of breaths right there. Okay, we're going to keep the legs as they are. We're going to move across the body. Your right hand, the one by the mirror wall, is going to do the action first. Reach it up to the ceiling, lift the head from the ground, take that right hand, tap the left knee. Come back down to the mat. Other side, left hand lifts, head lifts, left shoulder lifts, moving across the body, tap the knee, come back down. Several more. I like to move with my breath. You can always double time it if you're feeling a little feisty. You can always slow it down a bit. Let's take one more, both sides. Excellent. Release the knees, heel toe the feet back together again. Roll onto your favorite side. Maybe that bottom arm becomes a little pillow. Pause there, take several breaths there. Rather than coming up, we're going to roll on to the other side. Again, the bottom arm can become the pillow to your not favorite side. Pause there, take several breaths. Start to roll the chest a little bit toward the ground. Press the top hand into the ground. Lift the body upright. We'll meet one another seated. I'm going to grab my blanket, just like it comes off the shelf. Slide it underneath my hips. Like to place the flesh of the bum on the blanket, so kind of shift forward a little bit, so it's like the bum flesh all goes down behind you. A couple of breaths, noticing how it feels to be upright. Maybe find a few circle movements of the neck, shifting, noticing. If you're taking full circles, go in both directions, please. And then stack the ears over the shoulders. Shrug the shoulders all the way up to the ears, and then let them slide down, flop down. Take that a few times. Perfect. Take your right hand across the body, reach for the leg. Left hand, slide it back, grab onto your blanket. Use the hands and the arms to twist through the spine. And then unravel from that twist, take it to the other side. Again, hands supporting. And release. Slide the right leg out in front of you. Left leg is going to cross over. We want to be able to dangle the foot off. Yes. Left hand is just going to flutter the knee up and down. And then explore what kind of effort it would take to lift the knee and hug the thigh into the chest. Maybe the left foot plants. You can use both hands here, hug it in. Notice, feel. Take another breath there. I tend to hold breath when I'm holding this shape. Right hand's going to stay on the knee. Left arm's going to stretch out behind you. Keep it floating. Spread through the fingertips. Hug the knee and reach with the back hand. Bring the gaze forward. Unravel from the twist. Stretch the leg out long. Lengthen up through the body and hinge forward. Bring the belly to the thighs, chest toward the knee, hands can plant. Doesn't matter how much you fold, I want you to keep the spine nice and long. Root the heels down into the ground. Grip the mat with your hands. Think about dragging the chest forward. My hope is you feel a little stretch through the low back and probably the legs. Okay, come back up. ISCC. Sometimes I don't know if my instructions are clear.
Oh, they are.
Oh,
I got it.
okay, good. But is it a good hurt or is it
No,
like
it's
a,
a,
we hate you,
it's a,
Catherine?
no, it's a good stretch. No, it's good stretch. If it ever gets to that point, I back off.
My best words I've heard today. If it gets to a hurting point where you're about to hit your teacher, back off. Everything is optional. So left leg is long, right leg is crossed, and we're just going to use the hand. Flutter the knee.
It's a hurt that you need.
I don't know if I like that idea. I don't want the knee to hurt, but I do want to feel sensation.
Yeah, that feel, you just need that feel. That's
Okay. We're gonna use our hand, lift the knee, see if you can slide that foot down to the ground, hug the knee into the chest, hug, hug, hug. Reach across the body, left hand holds the knee, right arm stretches out behind you. Lots going on here. Take a moment and shift the gaze back to the toes that are on the mat. Hug those toes in toward your face, spread through the toes, and then shift back, look at the hands, extend, find space along the fingers, unwrap. Support the legs, extend them back out. This time we're going to take the legs wide. Same forward fold, so the belly's coming down into that space between the legs. Hands are coming down to the ground for support. Keeping the spine long today. Press into the heels, grip with the hands, shift the chest forward. You can fold as much as is comfortable in your body. The depth doesn't really affect it as much as just using our hands to pull forward. And then release. Slide the feet back together again. Butterfly pose, soles of the feet together, knees open wide. I'm going to use the weight of my hands. I'm not going to push or be aggressive, but just simply place my hands on the thighs right past the kneecaps. A couple of breaths. Notice where you feel it. Come back to that idea that yoga is illumination. Can you feel the warmth of your palms against the legs? Yes. And then unwrap. Oh, perfect. Now shift into tabletop pose. I heard a teacher use this cue, and I'm totally going to steal it. If you want a little luxury for your knees, slide a blanket underneath them. Isn't that the best? I was waiting for that. We're going to gather up our blocks also. So slide them near the short edge of the mat. Bring your strap nearby. When you find yourself all situated, take a few rounds of cat and cow. There's an ancient yoga tradition or philosophy. I'm not exactly sure what you would call it, but for thousands of years, yogis have believed that the more mobility you have in the spine, the better quality life is as you age. So probably the main reason why we practice cat and cow in almost every style, shape, class, yoga class, regardless of the lineage. I'm going to slide my right hand closer to the left. I'm just doing that so that when I shift my body to the left, I can step the right foot forward. Some people don't need it. They can slide it in between. My chest gets in the way. Reach for the blocks. Take the blocks and frame the foot. Blocks have 3 heights. You choose the one that works for you. We're just going to pulse forward and back. Mm-hmm. So notice as we take this, how the hip crease feels, how the top of the hip feels, how the bum feels, the outer leg. And for me, this is, I feel it in the knees a whole lot. Okay, we're going to take it a couple more times just because you feel it everywhere. The next time you come forward and the front knee bends, keep your left hand there. We're going to roll the right hand up to the sky, take a little twist. Now bend your right hand, your right elbow, catch your head with that hand. Now think about the length in the spine, maybe even how a cow pose would feel. I want you to bring that right elbow back as you roll the chest up to the sky. Hand is there to support the weight of the head. What would happen if you shift forward slightly? Ooh, and then unravel. Hands come back to the block, unravel from the twist, tuck the back toes. We're going to lift that back knee. Lots of weight in the front of the mat, step forward. I'm going to adjust my blocks, highest height, past my toes, press into the blocks, lengthen through the spine. Now I want you to pause in the length of the spine, feel the tailbone going back to the mats, to the props. Feel the top of the head coming forward. Imagine the shoulder blades. Those little wings on your back, could they give your spine a hug? And then soften that, bend the knees, bring the belly down toward the thighs, nod, yes, softening through the entire spine. Press into the feet, use the hands for support. We're coming all the way up. Oh, I forgot to grab the strap. That's okay. Reach the arms up. Interlace the fingers. Hands are going back behind the head. I like the thumbs along the neck. Hands are here just for support. As we move into a baby back bend, I want you to really focus from the ground up. So press the feet into the ground. Think about hips coming forward, lengthening through the belly, and then the head just resting into the hands. Teeny tiny back. If you're looking for some sort of challenge, try to close your eyes. Ooh, but it's a balanced pose. So when you're ready, come on up. Bring the elbows toward one another. Hands are just weighted on the head. No pulling as the chin dips into the chest. We're going to pulse between the two of those using the breath. As you inhale, press into the feet, engage the thighs, lengthen through the belly. Lift the gaze, open the elbows wide. As you exhale, curl in. Take two more, please. As you come forward this time, chin tucked to the chest, start to bend the knees, release the hands. Hands are going to find the blocks again. Inhale, half lift, activate through the spine. Exhale, bend the knees and fold. I'm going to lower the blocks here, bend the knees a whole lot. Right leg, step it back. Lower the knee down onto your luxury or onto your mats. Invite the body to shift forward and back. This side, man, is screaming at me. Yeah. Ooh, several times. The next time your front knee bends, right hand stays on the block, left arm lifts up to the sky. Bend the elbow, touch your head. We're adding that funky twist. We're thinking about rolling the chest up, stretching the elbow back, length in the neck. Maybe, just maybe, the whole body shifts forward a little bit. Ooh. And then mindfully unravels. Hands back to the blocks. Step the left knee to the mat, to the blanket or the mat. Come up into a high kneel pose. I'm going to take both of my blocks and stack them one on top of the other. In between my ankles. It's not an exact science, but around ankles feels good. I want to squeeze the inner legs against the blocks. Stay upright for a moment here. Yeah. Is this too much on the knees? Or are you okay?
I didn't know what step you were doing.
Perfect.
Step ahead of you.
You are a step ahead of me. So right now we're squeezing the inner legs against the blocks, feeling that engagement. Think about keeping the knees and the hips in line with one another, maybe even hips and shoulders in line with one another. So one long, it's like a plank here. We're just going to shift back a little bit and come back forward. Yes. Feel free to squeeze the bum as often as you like, as much as you like to support. I know that when I squeeze the blocks, my bum automatically engages. We're activating and strengthening the fronts of the thighs, the front of the hips. Take one more of that little shift. Yep. Now hinge, place the bum on the block. I like 2 blocks. You don't have to use any blocks. You can use just one block. We'll reach for our strap. I'm going to fold my strap in half so the buckles don't hit me in the face when I move. And I'm going to take, but depending on the length of your strap and the flexibility of your shoulders, you might want it opened up. Totally fine. Just don't get smacked, please. Hands are wider than the hips. Lift the arms up to the sky. Think about stacking here, wrists, elbows, shoulders, hips, all in one nice line. We're all on our blocks, which makes it a little bit more comfortable in the knee joint for me, but they're optional. Take a little side bend. Let's go to the mirrors first. And then side bend over to the front of the studio. One more time, each direction. Looking for length in the body. Notice if the bum shifts on that block. Come back through center. Set the strap on the legs. I'm going to hold on to the strap with one hand just to swing it around behind me. Hands can be as close together, as far apart as you'd like. Let the arms dangle down. Think about space across the collarbone. Some people like space on the front side of the body. Some people think squeeze the shoulder blades, give your spine a hug. Now, pull the strap apart with your hands. It won't shift at all, but there's some engagement there. Invite a little bow. Ooh, coming forward with the chest. Shins are heavy so you don't fall down to the ground. As you inhale, lift back up. 2 more, just like that. Next time you lift, pause at the top. Torso is going to stay still, but the hands are going to lift away from the back. Bring them back toward the feet. Opening up behind you. You can always adjust the hand. I like to roll the fingers toward one another, backs of the hands to the long edges of the mat. And then eventually release that. Set the strap off to the side. Let's return to tabletop. Move the blocks out from away from your feet. A couple of rounds of cat and cow just to kind of resettle in. Maybe you instinctively tucked the toes. Maybe you kept the tops of the feet on the ground. Both are perfect. Let's shift the weight forward, shoulders over the wrists. Think about lengthening through the spine. When we lower down, drag the elbows past the ribs, lower the body down. Lengthen the legs out behind you, bring the hands forward, stack them, make a little pillow, rest your head. Several lingering breaths right here. Just noticing and feeling. Slide the hands underneath your shoulders. Palms spread, fingers spread, elbows hugging into the ribs. Begin to lift the chest from the ground. I'm going to ask you to go as high as you think you can go, and then back out about halfway. Pause there. Breathe there. Could you hover the hands? Lower back down. Are your legs up? I keep my legs rooted, even my pinky toes rooted. Come up just a couple of inches. See, I like to get my collarbone off the chest. If you're not too full and out on the front, maybe the boobs slip off the chest. Hover the hands. That's the activation in the back. Perfect. And then lower down, make yourself a little pillow, bend the knees, sway the feet, shift through the hips. There's this amazing thing that happens when we press into our hands. We're like, wow, look how high I can get. And then you're like, oh wait, that's arm strength. Cobra is about back strength. But it starts in that hip flexor, that hip crease. Kind of interesting to notice and observe. We'll slide the hands underneath the shoulders once more. Press back, child's pose. Your knees can be together or separate. You can invite activity through the arms, or you can invite softening through the arms. What do you need in this moment? Several slow and steady breaths right there. And then an opportunity and exploration. What would it feel like if you shifted the hip to one side and then to the other? Some people are going to feel this where the knee presses down and then the other knee presses down. Some people are going to feel in tightness through one glute and then the other. Return to tabletop pose. I'm going to take my knees to one side, lower the hips down, practicing rolling onto our back. You're welcome to keep the blanket underneath the hips for that little bit of luxury, or you're welcome to slide it up. Moving into half happy baby. Actually, let's take full happy baby. Knees come into the chest, widen the knees. Lift the feet up to the ceiling. Hold on, backs of the legs, shins, feet, whatever feels good for you. And then invite some rocking side to side. Some people like to straighten one leg and then the other. If it's stillness that's calling to you, feel free to take stillness. Mindfully release the feet. Ooh. Let's stretch the left leg long on the mat. Keep that right knee hugged in nice and close. Reach across with the left hand. Moving into a supine twist. Roll onto your left. Right arm can come out for balance. It might feel really good here to straighten both legs. You might get there and be like, no way. That's totally fine. I invite you to roll the neck, the gaze side to side. Find a soft space that feels stable. And then take 3 breaths there. As you're ready, bend the knees slightly. It helps to roll you onto the back. Switch out the legs. Right leg long, left leg hugged in. Take that knee, that leg across the body. Move into a supine twist, rolling onto the right side. Space to explore, straightening both legs, any amount. Changes the shift, the focus of the supine twist. And the neck finds that safe and stable space. Follow 3 more breaths. Softly bend the knees, roll on to your back. We'll stretch the legs out long, reaching the heels to the corners of the mat. And just like we did at the beginning of class, there's an invitation to lift one limb and then plop it down. Lift the other limb, plop it down. Maybe the arms lift and plop. Lift and plop. How much effort would it take to lift both legs and both arms and plop them down? Settle into the stillness. Settle into the Shavasana. Your gaze is focused, whether eyes are open or closed. Your jaw relaxed. Space between the back teeth. Tongue soft. You are result of your thinking. Yoga begins with thinking and ends with illumination, with understanding, with connection. To connect to the breath, and you feel that inhale coming in. Perhaps you notice its warmth. Maybe you just imagine the warmth of the breath shifting around the body, illuminating each cell. Then you invite a wiggle of fingers and toes. As you're ready, full body stretch, legs together, arms past the head. You might reach through one arm and then the other, stretching through the side body. Eventually bending the knees, bending the elbows, rolling on to the side, doesn't matter which. We'll move and press into that top hand, lifting the body upright, meeting one another in a comfortable seated shape. Take a moment and notice if the body feels differently, how it feels differently. Notice thoughts and mind. Begin to recognize any bit of shift. If you'd like to join me, I'm going to gather palms together, thumbs toward the heart. Soft tuck of the chin into the chest. Press the fingertips against one another. Create a little bubble in between the hands. And then stretch and extend, pressing full palm, full finger together. Do that again. little bubble in between the hands, and then extension. The light and the love that live within me. Recognize and respect the light and the love that resides within me. Thank you for your practice. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you. You're welcome. Oh, that was good. Thank you. I'm glad y'all are here.
I had a big event in my sports firm. I think I went too late down. I was like, what is